Did you know that despite upstate New York's vast landscapes and rich history, very few people actually live there? This region, known for its breathtaking natural beauty, from the rolling hills of the Catskills to the serene waters of the Finger Lakes, is home to fewer people per square mile than the bustling streets of New York City. While the city pulsates with energy and life, upstate New York unfolds with wide-open spaces, forests, lakes, and small communities that move at a gentler pace. But why does this contrast exist? And why does nobody live in upstate New York? The answer lies in a mix of history, geography, economy, and lifestyle choices that have shaped this state over centuries. Historical context. Let's step back in time to explore the roots of New York's diverse landscape, long before skyscrapers ever graced its skyline. Our story begins with the original stewards of the land, the indigenous people. Central to this narrative is the Iroquois Confederacy, also known as the Haudenosaunee, meaning people of the Longhouse. This powerful alliance comprising the Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, Seneca, and later the Tuscarora nations, was renowned for its sophisticated political system and social organization. The Confederacy's democratic governance, which inspired the United States' own Constitution, was a testament to its advanced societal structure. The Iroquois inhabited the fertile lands of what is now upstate New York. Their expertise in agriculture, particularly the cultivation of the Three Sisters, corn, beans, and squash, along with their prowess in hunting and fishing, allowed them to thrive. The Confederacy's influence extended across the region, playing a crucial role in the area's social and economic dynamics. As European explorers set their sights on the New World, the stage was set for a dramatic shift. The Dutch, seeking to expand their global trade networks, were among the first Europeans to establish a foothold in the region. In the early 17th century, they founded New Amsterdam, a settlement on the southern tip of Manhattan Island. This trading post quickly became a bustling center of business, attracting settlers and traders from across the globe. However, the Dutch era did not last. In 1664, the British seized control of New Amsterdam, renaming it New York in honor of the Duke of York. Under British rule, the city's strategic location at the mouth of the Hudson River became even more pronounced. New York City emerged as a crucial port, serving as a gateway for goods and immigrants entering the New World. The significance of New York City continued to grow, especially after the creation of the Erie Canal in the late 19th century. This engineering marvel connected the Hudson River to the Great Lakes, opening up the continent's interior to trade and settlement. New York City's port became the linchpin in a vast trade network, fueling the city's ascent as a global economic powerhouse. Throughout these transformations, the contrast between New York City and upstate New York became increasingly apparent. While the city flourished as a hub of commerce and culture, the lands to the north retained their rural character. But then, how has history shaped the present-day demographics of this region? Demographic trends. Today, New York City isn't just any city. It's a buzzing hub where culture, money, and new ideas come together like nowhere else. There are over 8 million people packed into this bustling metropolis, making it the busiest place in the whole country. Living in this place means dealing with sky-high living costs and fighting for your spot in the job market. But it also means being at the heart of a cultural whirlwind and having a top-notch public transport system that can take you anywhere you want to go. The city's magnetic pull of job opportunities and cultural treasures keeps drawing folks from all corners of the world, making it a melting pot that's always changing. But lately, things have started to shift, painting a new picture for upstate New York. While the city keeps pulling people in, many upstate areas are seeing their numbers stay the same or even drop. This is happening for a bunch of reasons, like lack of jobs, not enough new opportunities popping up, and the bright lights of the city luring the younger crowd away from the quieter rural and suburban lives. However, it looks like the winds of change are blowing. The steep cost of city living, along with folks craving more room and a nicer way of life, is making some give upstate New York a second look. Thanks to the rise of remote work, people aren't tied down to living near big job hubs anymore. And there's more good news. Upstate towns and cities are getting a makeover, sprucing up their communities with new cultural spots, better infrastructure, and plans to boost the local economy. They're rolling out the welcome mat for anyone looking for a fresh start, and even coaxing back those who left. These moves are slowly but surely changing the population, aiming for a more even spread of folks across New York State. With the evolving demographic landscape freshly in mind, it's time to explore another crucial characteristic in our story: the climate of upstate New York. How does the weather play its part in shaping the lives and choices of its inhabitants? Climate and influence. Upstate New York really feels the seasons, with each one bringing its own vibe and challenges. You will also find everything from freezing, snowy winters and warm, sticky summers. When winter comes around, it doesn't hold back. Places like Buffalo and Syracuse get hit with what's called lake effect snow, which means a lot of snow coming down because they're near the Great Lakes. This weather makes everyday life a bit of a challenge, with snowstorms messing with travel and outdoor plans. But it's not all bad. The snowy blanket turns the region into a paradise for those who love skiing, snowboarding, and snowmobiling. In New York City, it's a different story. Thanks to the Atlantic Ocean, the city's climate is gentler. Winters aren't as harsh, and summers are warm but cooled down by the ocean breeze. This easier-going weather means life in the city buzzes along with fewer pauses for bad weather, making it a great place to be all year. The city's milder weather encourages an active outdoor scene, from summer street fairs to cozy winter markets, adding to its charm as a hotspot to live and visit. The contrast in weather between upstate New York and New York City really influences where people choose to live. Many are drawn to the city's milder climate, preferring urban life without the extreme seasons found upstate. This difference shapes the city's lively outdoor culture, making it an even more appealing place to call home. From the chill of winter to the warmth of summer, let's take a splash into the St. Lawrence River's mysteries. Why hasn't this waterway become a cradle for bustling cities like others? The St. Lawrence River's anomaly. The St. Lawrence River is key to New York's development. It's a key waterway that doubles as a border between the US and Canada, playing a huge role in trade, travel, and cultural ties. But there's something unusual about it. You won't find big American cities dotting its banks. Instead of the bustling metropolises that often grow along major rivers, the St. Lawrence has smaller towns like Ogdensburg and Massena. Important, yes, but they're not the giants like those you see elsewhere. So, why does the St. Lawrence River not attract big cities and development? A mix of history and geography offers some clues. First off, the area's tough climate, with its long, freezing winters, wasn't exactly welcoming for early settlers who preferred milder spots. This natural factor, and where the river sits on the map, led it down a different growth path. The river's past is also woven with tales of European powers clashing over who controlled North America. It was a key battleground in fights like the 7 Years' War and the War of 1812. The disputes, especially between the British and Americans, influenced where people settled and how the area developed. After the War of 1812, the focus was on beefing up defenses along the river, not so much on building up cities. Plus, the river acts as a border with Canada, which adds another layer. Rivers fully within the US often become hubs for cities because there's no international border to worry about. But the St. Lawrence, with its role as a boundary, brought up all sorts of logistical and political hurdles. Issues like national security, border control, and international politics made it tricky for large urban centers to take root along its edges. Navigating from riverbanks to today's challenges, let's pivot to what really matters: the future. Modern challenges and opportunities. The primary challenge facing upstate New York is economic restructuring. The region has historically depended on manufacturing and agriculture. However, the past decades have seen a significant shift, with manufacturing jobs moving overseas and agricultural practices becoming more mechanized, requiring fewer human workers. This economic transition has led to job losses and diminished economic prospects in many upstate communities, compelling residents, especially the younger demographic, to seek opportunities in more urbanized or out-of-state areas. Another pivotal issue is the brain drain phenomenon, where educational institutions in upstate New York produce highly skilled graduates who often leave the area searching for better opportunities elsewhere. This migration is driven by a perceived lack of competitive salaries, career advancement opportunities, and cultural amenities offered by more populated urban centers. Infrastructure, particularly in rural and remote areas of upstate New York, poses its own set of challenges. Limited access to high-speed internet and public transportation options can deter modern businesses from establishing themselves in these areas, further exacerbating economic stagnation and making attracting and retaining residents difficult. Despite these hurdles, upstate New York is poised for a renaissance, with several sectors offering rays of hope. The region's natural beauty and resources present untapped potential for the renewable energy sector, particularly wind and solar power, which could create jobs and attract investment. Fueled by innovation hubs and incubators linked to academic institutions, the burgeoning tech industry holds promise for economic diversification and attracting a dynamic workforce. With the rise of remote work, the need for proximity to traditional urban centers has diminished, allowing tech companies and startups to consider the region as a viable base. This shift could rejuvenate small towns and cities, bringing in young talent and revitalizing local economies. Moreover, upstate's colleges and universities are pivotal assets, serving as hubs for research, innovation, and workforce development that can fuel the tech industry's growth. As we look to the future, the upstate New York region stands at the brink of a new era where its challenges could become the catalysts for transformation and growth. By leveraging its unique assets and embracing innovation, upstate New York can chart a path to a prosperous and vibrant future, contributing to the broader tapestry of the state's economic and cultural life. And there you have it, the reasons why so much of upstate New York remains sparsely populated. But then, what are your thoughts on this fascinating region? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. Don't forget to hit that like button if you found this exploration insightful, and subscribe to our channel for more deep dives into fascinating topics.